welcome in to the week 6 of the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour here at Hickory Motor Speedway. I'm Kurt Henney, joining the booth with Rick Main and Justin Mello Raymond for the first time. Mello, appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, Rick, so here we are, last week before the championship week. We have Kyle St. Jean leading the points, Ryan Cavey chasing 50 points back. But guess what, Rick? Kyle St. Jean is not in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. I mean, we could be going into the last race of the year here with, almost tied points or very, very close. So it should make for a great last race of the year. Excited to have, Mr. Mello here, the only guy not named Kyle St. Jean to lead a couple laps last week. Talk us through some of that racing last week, Mello.
Well, it was a good battle, I will say. Kyle St. Jean was giving me some run for my money, at least I could say. Trying to push that bottom side, just trying to get around him in some way or another. And then the switchback, I was definitely in Discord, happy to hear, just seeing you guys watching it from the backside and then doing the crossover move on me like that. I mean, I think that was a good replay. I enjoyed the replay itself. When you guys broadcasted it, was a great broadcast.
Yeah, and that crossover you mentioned, that was great battling up there. We know these late models, tough to pass, very easy to make a little contact to maybe move a guy, get that position. But it was a lot of clean racing up there. Diving it in, the crossover, it was made the broadcast easy, so we appreciate the clean, aggressive driving here in the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. So we're going to see what Ryan Cavey can do here today. If he's able to pull off the win, get some bonus points for lap sled, leading the most laps, maybe a 0x race. He can definitely walk out of here with the points leading into 5 flags for the championship next week. And I'll remind everybody, 56 Graphics is offering up a paint for the champion of the pilot season here. So shout out to 56 Graphics for offering their services, supporting the league as our first official sponsor here in the cohort. So I'll tell you what, we're going to pass it over to Mello and Rick Main to get us started on the starting lineup.
Well, I'll get us started here. I'll get us going with a little bit of a pre-race intro here.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your...
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if that doesn't get you pumped up, I don't know what does. Mello bringing a little mellow over from his stream. But now, in true cohort fashion, we are going to start with the weekly Sacco Award. Starting on the outside of row 5, Jegs Ford Mustang number 04, Zachary Wilp. And on his inside, we're going to have Nicholas Giampa. Outside row number 4 brings you Joshua O'Connor. And on his inside, that's going to be Kermit Henney. And then outside row 3, we're going to have Anthony Monroe.
All right, now it's time for your Cohort Top 5, sponsored by the Kohort Motor Club, the official motor club for the Kohort iRacing League. It's more than a hobby, it's a community. Start on the outside of row 3, racing out of Schoolcraft, Michigan, the Arborist driving the Amsoil Toyota Supra, number 83, Ryan Hufford. Start on the outside of row 2, racing out of New York, driving the Rockstar Energy, number 54, Ford Mustang, Nicholas Walthorn. Starting on the outside of the first row, racing out of Schoolcraft, Michigan, driving the PFC Brakes Toyota Camry, Ryan Cavey. And for the second week in a row, bringing home the Kohort Motor Club Pole Award, racing out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, driving the Mountain Dew Throwback Scheme, hoping to make Landon proud here at Hickory Motor Speedway, your pole sitter for the second week in a row, Dakota Malore. All right, guys. We're here. Hickory Motor Speedway, last race before the championship. It's going to be tough. It's bumpy around here, guys. Mello, talk to me about Hickory Motor Speedway.
I don't have a whole lot of action here. I actually don't even know the track. But from watching it, seeing these guys race the whole course, it definitely looks like it's a fast, intense race.
All right, pace cars in through 3 and 4 to the 5-6 graphic restart zone. Looks like Dakota is able to... Oh, Ryan Cavey holding strong on the outside. Outside's going to prevail here. He has a nose going into the turn.
Yeah, Kurt, our viewers wouldn't know because there's no tower again this week, but problem. They're door to door. Good year to good year. We got a good race up front here, Kurt.
I'll tell you what, it's a good thing we don't get paid for this. That tower, if we got bonus sponsorships, maybe we could get that tower on here a little bit early. I'll remind everybody, for sponsorships, we do have the rotating logos up top. If you're interested, please do reach out, leave a comment, come sponsor us, get your logo on our tower. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate that.
Who was that off the pace? Was that looked like the 38 machine of Fleming?
Yeah, Chris Fleming, he got loose early. I think he had some early trouble. Looks like it was off camera, but we stayed green. Seems to be no damage for anybody else. So maybe a single car incident here early at Hickory Motor Speedway.
Looks like a tough battle up here in the front. Looks like Katie is going to to it. He's kind of falling in line and trying to save the tires here, as we do have 115 laps here. That's a long race. Hopefully these guys can save that right front as they're going to win.
Yeah, Melo, definitely a long race. It's our first race of the season, over 100 laps. I think every race thus far between 80 and 90. So here at Hickory, we decided to go 115. Make it more of a little endurance race. As you mentioned, saving those tires is going to be key, so maybe that's why we see some single file racing here early in the race, knowing that whoever saves that right front better than the next guy is probably going to prevail in these long runs, especially if we see a long green flag run here.
So, Mello, I like to start each week. Normally I ask Kurt who his pick is this week, but with you being the guest specialist here, I'm gonna throw it to you. Who's your pick?
You know, I'm just going to have to say, as we're on board with it right now, Joshua O'Connor is definitely one of those good racers to look out for. He doesn't seem to be racing a whole lot of late model stock, but that man can race a full track like anybody else. So I think he's going to be my pick this week to win this race.
I'll throw it over to you, Kurt.
Well, I tell you what, we have, I hate to do it, but we have the pole sitter. He is P2, so maybe it's not cheating too much. I had the opportunity to run some officials with Dakota throughout the week. He was running in the top 5 in every race we did together. He did run into trouble in each of those races, though, so I think once it comes down to it, you know, late racing, tires a little worn, aggression's going to pick up. He fell victim to it in the officials, so we'll see if he's able to keep clean, keep pace, and find checker flags. That's my pick for this race. Rick, who you got?
Well, you know me. I'm a sucker for the storyline, right? So I gotta go with the guy out front. You know, I want to see him win this race. I want to see that points battle as close as possible. That way, on the last week, every position counts for that you know, first cohort championship, as well as that ever so lasting. I mean, that paint scheme, it's forever.
And I tell you what, 5.6 Graphics, they put together some good paints. As we see, some close battles here between Joshua O'Connor, Anthony Monroe, and Nicholas Walthorn for ultimately P3 in this position here.
You guys can't count out that middle pack, though. We got a little bit of points battle in the middle there. Most of those guys are sitting about the 120 range. Don't count out those guys, because you're going to have to bid the race to the end here and see who actually gets to the P3, P4, and P5 in the series.
Yeah, definitely going to be close. There's multiple storylines to watch. I mean, none more interesting than the Ryan Cavey, Kyle St. Jean potential battle that we're going to see for the championship here next week at Five Flags. But definitely storylines throughout. As we see, 2 wide between Joshua O'Connor and Nicholas Walthorn. Excuse me, Anthony Monroe on the inside is able to clear. Nicholas Walthorn, Joshua O'Connor peeking on the inside, side by side, Monster Energy. And Joshua O'Connor seems like he clears Nicholas Walthorn on the inside.
You think those boys are teammates, or do you think they just really enjoy the monster?
I tell you what, Rick, whenever I first started in these late model races, we saw a lot of the Sundrop Chevrolets. As we see a battle for the lead picking up on intensity, maybe Ryan Cavey went a little bit too hard, too early. Dakota's definitely closed the gap there. But yeah, Rick, the Sundrop was a thing. Now seeing the 2 Monster Energies, I tell you what, they didn't race like they were teammates there, Rick.
Yeah, interesting enough up front, it looks like they're running 2 fairly similar but fairly different lines at the same time.
Yeah, we'll ride on the we'll ride on the hood here at Dakota to look at the lines that you're talking about. And I think what you're talking about is the different lines and how that's going to hurt the tires. Mello, talk to me about the different lines and whether or not that's going to hurt the right rear, the right front. What's the difference here?
Well, as you're diving it in here, as you're seeing Katie just dive it down in there a little bit lower than Dakota, you see that he's making it stick, but it's also kind of getting loose on his entry, so his right front's going to get eaten up a little bit. As you look at Dakota, he's just kind of riding down. He's trying to, I feel like he's conserving. If you look at it from the standpoint, he's conserving. Ryan's just trying to hold on to whatever he can right here as Dakota's looking to make the move here.
Oh, it looks like he got a little loose. Maybe trying to dive it below. We saw Ryan Cavey drift up the racetrack a little bit. Dakota thought maybe there was an opening, but then maybe a little too heavy on the accelerator. But again, 115 laps, guys. Easy to save, especially when you have a 2-second gap over the rest of the field, guys.
Yeah, and you know, you don't have to save too much though, right? That we have an extra set of tires again this week.
We do have an extra set of tires. What we're going to do in the Kohort series is any race over 100 laps, we're going to bring an extra set in the pits. Anything less than 100, you got what's on your car for the entire race. So in this race, over 100 laps, we do have a set in the pits. But I'll tell you what, Rick, if we have a green flag race here, coming into the pits here in these late models and replacing 4 tires at this short track, you're going to go a few laps down. So I wonder if it's some of the strategy and some of the guys to conserve enough where they don't have to pit, thinking that it's going to go green for the entirety of this race.
Or do we see our first round of 2, right side tires only?
You know, Rick, and that's another strategy play that we could come to see, as it seems like we have a caution on the track, guys. The cars are slow. Let's see, we have Chris Fleming. Looks like he's pretty damaged up. All right, so we had our first caution. As I'm talking about going green, they wreck on lap 28 here. So we're going to rewind. Again, I apologize that the replay file will not do a live race recording, so we can't see what happened other than to rewind. But I tell you what, this is a good opportunity to thank 5-6 Graphics once again for offering their service next week. Who's it going to be? Ryan Cavey or Kyle St. Jean taking home the first championship? I'll tell you what, guys, he has some nose damage, but I'm not seeing
You're going to want to go to Giampa.
An incident here.
He shot to -1, or a lap down. Yeah, -1.
All right, so let's go to -1 and let's see what happens here. All right, let's go fast forward. He's flying around here. It's a good looking car. Nice little throwback in the Whalen. Made in America Chevrolet. Running the high line. Looks like he's giving space. Gets a little loose there. There is a caution somewhere, folks. Stay tuned. We don't know where the caution's going to happen. There it is. There it is. Looks like he had a little help. Oh, let's just take an opportunity, take advantage of this, and just show Ryan Hufford, as we believe Ryan Hufford might have made contact and sent him around. So let's go right on the nose of Ryan Hufford here and see if that's in fact what happened.
I will say the 26 machine seemed to be all out of sorts. I mean, he was way up the track, the corner prior, so maybe the tire's already starting to go away on that machine.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Rick, this is a rough track, a lot of bumps. So if you hit your mark and you're trying to save it, not only are you going to burn that right front, you're going to do so as you're bouncing through the turn. But here we are with Ryan Hufford. We have Nicholas Giampa up ahead in the number 26, red, white, and blue, Whalen Made in America Chevrolet. Let's hit play, see what happens. Yeah. Mel, talk us through that incident there as we watch the replay one more time.
You know what happened? It kind of looks like last week. It's a little similar incident on the first lap of the race. It looked like a Justin Raymond dive bomb into the first turn there with Kermit, kind of sliding up in the middle, and it kind of just collects him a little bit. I think he was looking to make a move, he wasn't there, and it just ended up being a
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe Ryan Hufford knowing that it appeared that Nicholas Giampa was giving him the inside there, maybe a little bit off pace. Still getting a feel for it, maybe just saving, ultra conservative, right? As I mentioned, some people might be electing to not pit at all, maybe perhaps right side only. So maybe Nick Giampa was on the side of not pitting, so he wanted to save, letting people go by, and unfortunately slight contact was made. That's all it takes to get these cars spinning around, guys. So first caution, lap 28 here of 115. What do you think? Too early to pit?
I think it's the perfect time to pit, actually. I think this is where you want to put the shortcut in. Expect that it's going to be a green run the rest of the way, and then hopefully these guys that do stay out, they kill their tires more than you, and you get to get some positions here.
Yeah, well, as we see that, we
hey,
see
Ryan, it's Kermit up in the booth. You got me?
we got a driver interview going. Let's hear it live.
Yeah, go ahead, Kermit.
All right, Ryan, you got a window of opportunity here. Sitting second in points. Points leader Kyle St. Jean decided not to show up today at Hickory. How's the car feel out there?
It feels all right. Today is my first time ever turning a lap here, so I've got some tough competition behind me. Dakota, I just got to try to keep my car clean here and try not to do anything stupid here.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully you can capitalize on this points race here, tighten the gap between Kyle, and head into 5 flags close for the championship. Good luck, sir.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, so you guys heard it. Ryan Cavey battling for the championship through 3 and 4 to the 5-6 graphics restart zone. Great start by Ryan Cavey. 2 car lengths going into turn 1.
I think the big benefactor there actually was the 38 machine of Fleming. You know, spun out there early, was a lap down, gets a fresh set of tires, and you know, back on the lead lap.
Yeah, great call, Rick. It was, as we mentioned, one set in the pit, so it's going to be seen whether or not Fleming took the tires there. And now if we get a long green flag run, Fleming's the only car. We had Hufford go in as well on the lead lap here, as we have a car blinking. So it might have 2 cars at the back with the freshest tires. So are they too aggressive? We have another caution on the track here. Let's go check and see. Looks like we have Nick Giampa slow again. Let's go see what happened. Drama in the back of the field, guys. We have intense battles going up in the front. It's hard to capture all this stuff live. Let's go see. Oh, we have car turnaround. Oh, unrelated. Oh, okay. I think we're going to ride along the nose of Nicholas Giampa on this one. And, Mello, go ahead and call it.
Well, just from my perspective, it looks like he gets way late on the brakes here and just shoves his nose deep into that rear end and gets a little sniff of the 04 car there in front.
Yeah, hopefully Zach was due for a colonoscopy because Nicholas came in and we see the residual contact afterwards. But definitely Nicholas Giampa sending it in a little deep. Let's see what Zach Wilt had for dinner. Let's go ahead and go back live here. All right, second caution of the race. All right, guys. With quick 2 back-to-back cautions. For those people that don't pit, they knew that there's people in the back of the field that have fresh tires. Do we see the leaders come in here?
I think so. I think this is the right call here. Get some tires now, especially since people are grabbing some tires, especially if you're in the lead. Rick, what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like you just restarted. If you didn't come the last time, why come this time? All you're doing is giving those guys that did come last time basically a free, 8 spots straight to the front. So, I mean, I feel like if they were on the strategy to wait, they should probably just wait and ride it out. But I guess we'll see. I did want to throw this out there now with Giampa being the only guy lapped down and him being, in the incident. Talk to me about the rules on that one.
Oh, as we're saying that, Ryan Cavey does a little fake move. Doesn't draw anybody in. Maybe not aggressive enough. He's not Houdini out there. But yeah, Nicholas Giampa, only car lap down, causing the incident. And so unfortunately, because he did collect incident points under that caution, he will not receive the free pass. He will maintain that 1 lap down as we're doubling up, getting ready to restart once again here at Hickory Motor Speedway of race 6 of 7 in the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. So Ryan Cavey on the inside here, heading through 3 and 4 into the 5-6 graphics restart zone. Green flags in the air. Ryan Cavey, once again, great start. Good start with Anthony Monroe on the outside as he's looking to battle Dakota, our pole sitter, falling back to P3 side by side for second.
We'll rack them up, stack them up. We've got 2 in the back here. Ryan Cavey's just trying to hold on to it. I've noticed as I've been watching this.
Oh, contact. Looks like we have contact. Cars went around. Looks like we stay green.
Oh no.
Yellow's out. So let's go right along with Anthony Monroe. It looks like Anthony Monroe was a car that went around. Let's see if we can get quicker to this incident this time around. Was it the 82 Anthony Monroe that went around, guys?
Yeah, sorry, I misspoke. I thought that was Huffer. They're tricking me with the 82 and 83.
All right, so let's see here. Let's maybe what are we doing here? Let's ride on the gearbox of Anthony Monroe here. Looks like Joshua O'Connor. Yep. Contact with a 39 Joshua O'Connor Monster Chevrolet. Looks like it sends around Anthony Monroe running in the top 5 there, guys. So it's a decent run for Anthony Monroe. Now he's going to have to look to rebound here. Luckily, longer race, right? Still over 70 laps to go. Plenty of time to recover from that early incident here. But as we see, cautions breed cautions, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, it looks like these boys are late to, late to the Taco Bell drive-thru or something. They're just driving through everybody. You know, it's still got a long race here. I think we just need to settle down a little bit. You know, there's still some give that needs to be
That was weird.
had.
You well me?
The big thing here now is
Like,
I'm
let's
going
go and
to
you well me.
retract my statement because I think Brian Cage is sitting up in the front right now. All these cautions happen behind him. I think that could really mess up his race if he did go to pit. So I kind of agree with Rick now.
I don't know what that was. It just disappeared for like that whole track.
Yeah, I think Giampa was excited to see that caution, that's for sure. Everybody's back on the lead lap now. We got, all drivers can go after this thing, just about pushing halfway here, Kurt.
Yeah, we heard Joshua O'Connor chat on the radio there. Seems perhaps a little internet connection issues with cars disappearing, not understanding, where he's at on the track in relation to the other cars. That's one thing we will see with online racing is the net code. We have people all over the country, perhaps the world, all racing on the same server at the same time. When we're talking inches to make contact with another car and the all the physics involved in making iRacing what it is, you can't get it right 100% of the time, guys.
No, you definitely cannot. I think when we saw that, was it 2 wrecks ago, there was a little bit of net code after the wreck. So internet's going to be a factor in this race. Hopefully, we can stay clear here the rest of the way.
Yeah, we're going to see if race control is going to opt for a single file or if we're going to keep it stacked up side by side for this restart. We had a couple quick cautions. Looks like we're going to, we're going to stay doubled up. Try to get some good racing. But I think people are understanding how difficult it is to get around people. So they're trying to take advantage of this on the restarts. Try to gain some track position early, when the picking's easy, right? So we have Ryan Cavey, Dakota still 1-2. Class of the field so far. Heading into 3, exiting turn 4, heading into the 5-6 graphics restart zone. Once again, Ryan Cavey with a great start. Dakota cleared for second, side by side for P3.
Yeah, not sure if Walthorn there missed a shift or what. He looked a little slow off the line and let those first 2 guys kind of take him to Gapplebee's a little bit, but he's going to settle in there. I think the field realizing, we still have a long race. They look like they settled in a little faster this time. Why don't you take us through the field here and let's see how everybody's doing.
Yes, sir. So we got running P1. Started second in this race, if I'm not mistaken. We have Ryan Cavey battling Kyle St. Jean heading into the championship next week. Right now, where he's finishing, I think he's at a 0x race. He's leading this race right now. So he's doing exactly what he needs to do to tighten that gap for that championship race next week. Pass it back to Rick for P2. Who we got?
Dakota, I butcher his name every single time, so I'm not going to try until you tell me again how to say it. But I do like this little camera angle. You can see him sawing on the steering wheel in there. I think that's pretty neat.
I'll tell you what, Dakota Malore is, he's fast. He was our pole sitter running P2. Mello, who we got in P3?
Got Nicholas Walthorn in the 54 Monster Machine. Looks like he's just trying to fall in line and trying to get these points out of this race.
At P4, we got Kermit Henney battling for Anthony Monroe on his inside. Looks like he gives it to Anthony Monroe here. Let's see if he can settle in for P5. Now we're going to go back up the field to Anthony Monroe. Just past Kermit for P4. As we saw, he got early, spinned early, right? And we said a lot of time to recover. And here he is now back in P4. As we have a intense battle up here for the lead, catching lap traffic.
Yeah, it looks like the 46 machine was able to reel Cavey back in. He always gets those good launches, and then You know, he's able to reel him in. Looks like Giampa gonna move out of the way, let these guys battle in.
Yeah, it's always interesting when the leaders catch the lapped cars, especially when there's a speed discrepancy, perhaps some damage for the Giampa machine. But plenty of room for the leaders getting up there in the marbles, keeping it clean. Always appreciate seeing the lapped cars get out of the way, because we've seen plenty of examples, especially in those official series, where lapped cars don't move and cause an incident, ruin a leader's race. Close battle up here for the lead, guys.
I think Dakota's going to be able to make a move here sometime soon, because it looks like KV's just losing it on that bottom. I don't know why he's getting down there, because a lot of the factor seems to be up above the scene as we see him going down here. And I would think that Dakota's going to be able to make the move here within the next few laps.
Oh, he closes the gap through center. Does he try to dive it down here on his inside? Gets on his inside, has to lift to avoid making contact. That's close side-by-side racing there. No contact. But Dakota's hungry, guys. He wants this P1.
Yeah, I think it's important, you know, if you can get that clean air and you can get out there and you can set the pace, you can control how much wear you're putting on your tires. You know, you're a little over halfway now, so it's almost getting to go time.
You can definitely see Dakota trying to make a move here. He's pushing it, but he's also being conservative. As you see, Ryan's just trying to hold on to it, and it looks like that's kind of messing him up and getting him out of the groove here. I definitely think the move's going to happen once he's looking inside of it.
Yeah, we can see through the center. It seems Dakota definitely closes the gap through center, rolling the corners better. Perhaps an earlier braking point allows them to gain that center speed. I just see once again, Ryan Cave is still able to gap him on corner exit, but it's really rolling through the centers. It seems like Dakota has a bit more pace in 1 and 2.
Yeah, just, you know, with my crystal ball, I foresee, you know, probably a late caution right there. It seems like each week we've had a late caution. Now, we have a smaller field this week, so do those guys out front try to stay out, keep their track position, and you know, those guys in the back, nothing to lose? Do you come in and get tires?
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, right? So how aggressive can these leaders be, knowing that there might be somebody in the field? And if we go green from here, not everybody's pit yet. I think we only have, I think the 83 and the 38 have pit for tires, as we see Giampa getting out of the way again here. So there are some cars that have 30-lap fresher tires. So are these leaders trying to conserve so much so they don't have to go in for those pits for maybe a two-tire stop, knowing how much time they're going to lose if they come down? So it's a balance of not burning your tire without giving up the lead at the same time. So it's tough, as we see Walthorn come up here in the discussion in the top 3.
Yeah, Walthorn definitely wants his name in the broadcast. You know, he's like, wait a minute, guys, I'm up here too. You know, these guys on the podium, you can throw a blanket under them, Mello.
It definitely seems like they're trying to get up, you know, have this little battle more to the back of the field. And even with the fresh tires, it doesn't seem to be working out. So I definitely feel like I got to retract my statement from earlier and say, I am sorry. But at the same time, track position is going to be key here for the rest of the race.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see them stacking up behind the leader. Typically when you see the conveyor belt going, the lead of that conveyor belt's usually the slowest guy, and it's on tracks where it's hard to pass. You see that conveyor belt. There's no DRS here in the late model series. As we see Dakota once again getting to the bumper. Ryan Cavey looking to the inside, chooses wisely to back out. Close battle up here, but once again, you know, so it seems Cavey might be saving those tires, and that's what's causing all this this conveyor belt action. As of now, we have Anthony Monroe closing in within a second.
Yeah, I mean, you can't feed somebody a bumper yet, right? It's way too early for that. I mean, you're kind of in the catbird seat if you can ride around there, second place. You're not getting too much pressure from the guy behind you. I mean, I like where Dakota's at right now.
I definitely see Dakota trying to make that move here relatively soon. As you see him looking over the inside. Honestly, we got to go with the quote was saying, patience is a virtue. And he knows that right now he's saving his tires, and he's just looking to make that one move as he dives. Looking, he's not going to get it though.
And those
Yeah, and,
those dives are getting a little more aggressive as we're over halfway. Rick mentioned it. You're over halfway in this race. It's go time. Especially when you're looking in the mirror, you see the pressure from behind. How long can you wait and be patient when that guy behind you? How patient is that guy going to be? So Dakota's looking. He's seeing the cars stack up behind him. I think it's either make a move or get moved.
well, something must have clicked in. As we go back to a race for the lead here, it looks like Dakota finally got under him, got him up out of the groove a little bit. They're gonna, nope, not quite good door to door. I thought he was gonna finally have the run he needed. They're starting to stack up there for third as well, Kurt.
Yep, here we are. Now we have the top 4 all within a half second almost. The pressure is definitely mounting here for these leaders. As this conveyor belt gets significantly shorter, Dakota's gonna have to send it in here, see if he can get by Ryan Cavey, and then see if he can gap the field. Because it seems right now that Dakota has more pace than Ryan here, lap 77 of 115.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is I wasn't sure if you guys saw anything, but it looked like a light switch must have flipped in Monroe's helmet, and he was like, it's go time, because he's been inching in and into the screen lap after lap, and now it's a 4-car battle for the lead.
Yeah, great 4-car battle. 2.5 seconds back for P5 for Kermit Henney. So we're going to stay right here with his leaders as this, and the intensity is definitely picking up here. Closing in on 20 laps to go.
It's a ripple effect. You can see the 5 and 6 position are definitely catching up to this. Invader Bell has coming inside here. Can he make it stick though? He is side by side. He's making it quick.
Ooh.
It seems like his entry here is going to make him lose speed. He's going to have to drop him out.
Yeah, we saw him get loose there. I'll go back and correct my math of 35 laps left. We won't talk about that. So here we go here. Once again, Dakota's really push on corner exit. We can see him losing his right rear on corner exit, really trying to get a run. But the inside line, we go back to some of the other races we've done, Stafford, USA. You get that inside line, you kind of prevail. The inside line here, kind of like we saw in Thompson last week, it's not the preferred line. It's a little tough. Contact! Oh, there it is. Oh, man.
Finally ran out.
Got in there too hot. I'm sorry. That's on me.
Oh, man, guys. Now we have our championship battle. Championship battle. Ryan Cavey leading this race, doing what he needed to do to head into 5 flags. And we talked about it, guys. We were here. We were talking about the intensity picking up. And just as we're talking about that, it seems, Ryan Cavey, he has that speed through the center. Let's go ahead, slow motion here. Let's see what happens. So corner entry, we see riding on board here with Dakota as they approach center. You see Dakota closing the gap, Ryan sliding up the track a little bit, and that's all it takes, guys. Around she goes.
Yeah, nothing but a little love tap, but sometimes that's all it takes. I think Dakota just was faster for probably the last 20 laps. Patience probably wearing thin. He was able to get under him quite a few times and kept losing it on corner exit. And, you're coming towards the end of the race. It's getting to be go time.
I'm sorry. That's on me.
Yeah, we hear him on the radio apologizing. We'll listen in.
No worries.
Dang, I feel bad. I'm sorry, man.
Nah, man. No big deal.
All right, so very professional between the two of them on the radio. We have Dakota saying, I'm sorry, my bad. Definitely got in too deep. Didn't mean to do that. Ryan Cavey, very composed as we see the leaders come in for tires for the first time, lap 83 of 115. Guys, I gotta be honest. I respect the composure from Ryan Cavey leading this race, knowing that he's battling for a championship heading into next week. Contact turns around, puts him in the back of the field. Now with 20 laps to go, 30 laps to go. I'll do math one day. 30 laps to go. It's going to be tough for him to battle back, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we see anybody stay out? And I assumed Cavey's pit strategy was made up for him, right? Going to the rear, you might as well come in and get tires, but everybody came in and got tires. Will anybody take 2?
I'll tell you what, looking at the pit times here, it doesn't appear that anybody took 2 tires during that pit stop. Everyone's pushing, plus we had some people repair some damage, it looks like. But yeah, everyone between 22 and 23 seconds for their pit stops. Zachary Wilt seems like he repaired a little bit of damage maybe from that early spin, getting involved with Nick Giampa early in the race.
So
So-
my crew chief hat coming on here. I think if I was Ryan Cavey's camp, with everybody pitting, I think I call an audible to right sides only with, you know, track position being so important. We see it week after week. It just seems like it's really hard to pass in these late models.
Yep. So we'll ride along here with Ryan Cavey, or excuse me, Dakota, who's going to shake out to be your leader for the race. But yeah, it doesn't appear that there was a two-tire call for anybody in the field. You wonder how much left sides was wearing on this track. As I mentioned, it's bumpy. Once we go green here, we'll go check out as we have a slight blinking going on here. We'll go check out, see if we can get a good shot of how bumpy this track is, because that's definitely going to tear apart the tires. What do you think, Mello? Your 80-lap run, what do you think the right front's sitting at percentage-wise?
I'm guessing
Good, I gotta get in front of you.
because you're not really diving in a whole lot. I mean, maybe the guys in the back, you know, just turning the wheel too much. But
A couple of us got their iRacing telling us to do different things.
It ain't telling me anything, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it seems there's a little bit of mix-up here under yellow. We have some drivers talking that iRacing tell them to do some weird things. But here we are through 3 and 4, 5, 6 graphics restart zone. Restart was a little wonky there. Seems like some of the cars weren't necessarily lined up where they needed to be. It almost seemed like a single file restart, as we have Dakota Malloy here leading the race after he makes contact with Ryan Cavey, sending him back one lap down as the current leaderboard stands. We'll check with race control, see if there's something that we do about the it seems like 3 cars are now lap down after that pit cycle.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Somebody talked to me here. I'm looking at time and score, and it's saying 3 of our guys are a lap down, and I mean, it was just a little bump and run.
Yeah, sometimes when you're short track racing, you know, with the pace car is going to do the pace laps. Every now and then, the pace car going around will mark the drivers a lap down, and with how short the tracks are, depending on where your pit stall is, sometimes iRacing will make a glitch, as we see race control opt into a competition yellow here. Try to get the field sorted out.
Competition yellow. I think the pit cycle puts some people lap down, not necessarily so.
So is that going to put Ryan Cavey in the second position?
So Ryan Cavey spinning around, definitely going to the back of the field there. He's not going to get the position
Yeah,
back.
I'm not sure why he's left down. I'm not sure why.
Unless
they did
everybody pits. But again, there's only one set in tires. I don't think anybody's that damaged that they're going to need to come in at this point. So what I'm thinking is going to happen here is that the 3 cars lap down are going to get to wave around, get their lap back that was caused under the caution. Should get everybody doubled back up and redo that restart there. As we saw, guys, you know, it almost appeared like a single file restart. With some cars lapped down, but competition yellow, we'll get it sorted out here. We'll be doubled back up, coming 20 to go. Next to last race of the season, the penultimate race. Again, storyline of this race, we have Ryan Cavey, who was leading the race, dominant for a while there. Then it looks like he lost some of the pace. Maybe he was saving. But, you know, at what point do you just got to go, guys? You know?
Like yesterday, I mean, we're going for a championship here, Kurt. What are we talking about? He's gotta put the thing to the floor. If he's gotta move a couple guys, he's gotta do it. We're down to 21 laps to go. It's beyond go time.
I was gonna say, I think go time was probably about 30, 40 laps ago. But hey, whatever you think is, you know, the special time to go. I just want to say this though. I think we got to thank race control here. I mean, such a generous group of people up there in the booth and letting these guys get back on the lead lap here and having a great battle here towards the end of this race.
Yeah, as we go through the field quickly here, Dakota Malloy leading the race. Anthony Monroe on his outside once the restart comes. Chris Fleming here on the inside. Kermit hanging in there, P4. Nicholas Walthorne, some adversity early, still battling in the top 5. Zachary Wilt, who just repaired some damage in that last start. Ryan Hufford in the nice Amsoil Toyota. And then Ryan Cavey. You hate to see him back here, P8, after that contact. But let's see how aggressive he is. 20 laps to go. He knows he's battling for a championship. He knows where they stand. So we'll see how aggressive he is as we come to green here with 19 to go. Second to last race of the season. It's all or nothing now. If Ryan Capey wants to win a championship, he has to go. So we got Dakota on the 5-6 graphics restart zone. Good restart on the outside by Anthony Monroe here. Gave Dakota a run for his money. We haven't seen that all race. Usually the car leader's been gapping him by 1 and 2, but decent restart here by Anthony Monroe, trying to keep it true to Dakota. Give him a race here.
Yeah, Kurt, my eyes are glued to that 91 machine. I mean, that's where your TV gold is going to be. Can he come through the field? How fast can he come through the field? Will he move somebody? As somebody spins out there in front of him, watch out.
Oh, looked like Kermit Henney and Zachary Wilt, maybe some contact. Let's go see. Nicholas Hawthorne looks around. Okay, maybe Kermit, Nicholas. Let's go rewind. Let's see where this incident occurred. There was a car around. Good eye there, Rick, calling it live as we saw it happen.
Yeah, I'm sure Cavey's got to be clenching his cheeks right now. That was right in front of him. That's that could have had big championship implications.
Yeah, let's go right along the nose here of the Team Red, White, and Blue Yingling Toyota. So we see Kermit here riding a little bit higher. Oh, no contact. Single car incident. No contact. Looks like Nicholas Hawthorne knowing it was go time, guys. Got a little bit too aggressive, and Kermit will take that free chicken up to P4 in the Team Red, White, and Blue Yingling Toyota Camry. Driving for the Kohort Motor Club. Now recruiting. Plug over.
That'll be a quick one. Get lined up, please.
Sounds like the plug is still going on. Is he's trying to recruit people into the Kohort and see the great group of guys over there hanging out as we get this race going green here shortly.
Yeah, so as we saw, race control coming alive there, saying let's get it doubled up. We're going to shorten this caution.
Is this single file, Kermit?
We only got 15 to go. We have the leader asking race control if we're doing single or double. 14 to go. We have championship implications going here. Ryan Cavey up to 6th. We're going double file. There's no way race control is going single file for this restart, guys.
Yeah, boo, single file. Let's double them up, rack them, stack them. Let's get excited. We only got 14 laps to go, Kurt.
Oh, Ryan Cavey, I don't know. Maybe that caution, maybe you wanted to see that caution. You know, he got some free chicken out of it. That's a position that he doesn't have to battle for. So there's one, guys. Every position matters. As we mentioned, there's a 50-point gap between him and Kyle St. Jean heading into the last race. We mentioned, if he was able to lead the most laps, lead a lap, win the race, 0x race, all these bonus points that he was going to be able to leave here with the lead. I think that's going to be hard to do. After that contact, definitely gave him some incidents. He's not leading the race. Perhaps he's still going to maintain those bonus points for most laps led. As we head through the 3-4 into the 5-6 graphics restart zone, they're all checking up. Green flag's in the air. Dakota leads them. Ryan Cavey, does he have what he needs to do? Does he have the tires under him? Can he gain these positions? Can he make it a championship between him and Kyle St. Jean as he's battling on the outside with the 04 of Zachary Wilt?
He's matted back there in traffic right now. Not sure if that's exactly where he wants to be. It's going to be tough, I think. Like I said, it's pretty tough. He's going to maybe have to use that bumper if he wants to get moving.
Yeah, this is the first time we've really seen him try to go through the field. He's been leading this race, looking in his mirror, eyes straight ahead here, seeing where opportunities exist, try to gain some position. As they're checking up, contact. Ryan Cavey, slight contact with the 04 Zachary Wilt, sends him in the pit road. No caution, but that's definitely going to take Zachary Wilt out of this race. With 10 to go, finds himself in pit road. Unfortunate contact there sends Zach Wilt into the pit road. But Ryan Cavey.
Yeah, I believe Cavey heard Wilt's chatter about needing a fresh set of tires, so I think he was just trying to help him get into the pits a little quicker.
Well, unless you know something I don't, I think Zach Wilt already took his tires. One set in the pits there. So we'll see how Zach Wilt's probably looking for a tire iron right now to find Ryan Cavey after this race. Ryan Cavey up to P5. We have we'll check quickly. Dakota, Gap, and Anthony Monroe here for top 3, single file with gaps between them. This is the race right here between Ryan Cavey and Chris Fleming. Can Ryan Cavey gain one more position? We mentioned every position matters. But 5 to go. Let's go ride with Anthony Monroe because he is our Toyota Prius Prime mover of the race, gaining 4 positions from the start of this race. So shout out to Anthony Monroe. doing what he needs to do, battling through adversity, getting up there to be our Prius Prime mover of the race. All right, guys, here we go. Ryan Cavey's still battling. Can he get by Chris Fleming for 4th? He needs those points, guys.
Yeah, you're not missing anything up front. I mean, Dakota has gone downstairs, ate breakfast, and absolutely checked out. We're all eyes on KV and seeing what he's in damage control mode, trying to see what he can salvage with 3 to go, Kurt.
Yeah, we have 3/10 up for Fleming. Yeah, I think it's going to take a slip up by the Fleming and the Rockstar Energy Machine in order for KV to make it happen. Or maybe KV, I don't know, guys. Does he send another car into the pits for 4th position?
I don't think so. I think he's just going to try to see if he can make it to the inside.
White flag in the air for Dakota Malore. I hate to say it, but he was my pick for this race. And there it is, Dakota Malore taking the checkered flag. Anthony Monroe, P2. Kermit Henney bringing it home, P3. Chris Fleming and Ryan Cavey.
Good race, top 3.
Rounding out your top 5.
Interviews. Dakota, good win, buddy.
You know, so it was a close battle.
Appreciate it.
You know, Ryan Cavey doing what he had to do, doing some, dare I say, pit maneuvers to gain any position he could late in that race. He gained a couple, but ultimately, you know, he might be a little short. We'll check the point standings here and see what we're looking for as we see Dakota burning it down here.
Yeah, baby, burn it down. You deserved it.
Looks like he's trying to park it in victory lane here. There it is.
Gotta celebrate. You're a Kohort late model series winner, baby.
Dakota Malore, your winner here at Hickory Motor Speedway. So let's go down the track for some driver interviews. Top 3, Kermit Henney was top 3. We're going to skip his interview, and we're going to go straight to Anthony Monroe.
Anthony Monroe, Kermit, up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Anthony started mid-pack here. Brought home P2. How'd it feel out there?
Felt all right. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my throttle sticking, so it made for rotating the car a little more difficult than usual. But yeah, I didn't qualify as good as I wanted to. This is not one of my favorite tracks. It's kind of I've been struggling on it for years. But no, it feels good to come on P2. So yeah.
Well, you're taking home the Prius Prime mover of the race, gaining 4 positions from the grid. With a sticking throttle there here at Hickory, that's going to be a challenge to overcome, especially with the wear to the right front. Any shout-outs, any friend sponsors you'd like to give?
Oh, yeah, of course. All the guys back at Broken Axle Motorsports, we're actually changing team names to Monday Motorsports this week. So, but yeah, big shout out to all the guys over there that helped this team grow. Kiewit Offshore Ltd. For all the support they give us, and 5-6 design for painting this car.
All right, sir. Good race. Look forward to see you next week at 5 Flags for the championship.
Yeah, thank you.
Dakota Malore bringing it home P1. Come in the booth. You got me.
I got you.
Dakota, there was some close racing up there between you and Ryan Cavey throughout this race. How'd it feel out there?
Yeah, it felt good. Me and Ryan raced really, really good the whole time. I feel real terrible about getting into him that hard. I had third pushing on me, and I was trying to get on past and just got into him way too hard. So he owes me one for sure. But no, it felt good. It felt really good. I enjoyed the close racing.
Yeah, there's definitely some close battling up there, top 3. Like I said, caught out that contact. We'll see if he remembers going into 5 Flags next week. Any shout-outs to any friends, sponsors, anything?
Thank y'all again. This one means a lot, pretty much being right in my backyard. This is a really awesome track to win at. No sponsors, so once again, if anybody's out there listening, But once again, thank y'all, and can't wait for next week.
Yeah, great race tonight. And yeah, look forward to seeing you next week.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, there we heard it. Anthony Monroe looks like he was having some throttle issues, where his throttle was sticking a little bit, maybe getting entry a little bit too deep at times, battling some tech issues. But Dakota Malloy bringing it home P1 at his home track. It was a great race, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me here for the first time. It's been a fun time, and hopefully can get back in the booth with you guys again. Rick?
Yeah, I mean, that's exciting stuff for Malloy there, but Kurt, talk to me here. We're talking points. We're talking what? 11 going into the last race. That's like no positions, right?
Here it is. 11-point gap between Kyle St. Jean and Ryan Cavey heading into the final race of the season. So it's going to take some moving for Ryan Cavey. I'll remind the viewers, Kyle St. Jean, prior to this 1 week absence, he won the last 3. He takes a week off. Dakota pulls out the win. So we're going to see. It's going to be a close battle between Kyle St. Jean and Ryan Cavey. They know where they stand in the points. How aggressive do we see Ryan Cavey, Mr. Pit Maneuver himself? Does he send Kyle early? It might be one of those races at Five Flags for the championship, guys. It's going to be a good race. Mello, but yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us in the booth. Hope we can, the schedule's aligned. We can have you back. It was great having you. Great commentary. Knowledgeable in the sport. Definitely added to the commentary. So thank you, Mello, for coming in.
Yeah, appreciate it again.
Yes, sir. So here we are, the Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. Kyle St. Jean leading the points by 11 going into the championship at Five Flags next week. So if you're interested in joining Kohort iRacing League, we have a 7 p.m. 360 Sprint Series, Open Series, very competitive. And then our 9 p.m. Eastern Kohort Late Model Stock Tour. You just saw it here live. So Kyle St. Jean heading into the championship week, 11-point lead. Can he hold off Ryan Cavey? Appreciate you guys watching. See you next week at Five Flags.